up, ladies and gentlemen? It is another Taco Tuesday. We are later than we normally would be, but mainly because there were a lot of technical difficulties. But we are working now. Everything is working. I'm looking up, and the audio actually works, and I'm happy. So let's get this going, ladies and gentlemen. You are now experiencing Distance Nerding. I am your boy, Young Phil. They are SHDU. She's the Fray Girl, and we're here
to nerd
together. Right. We're talking anything pop culture, news, movies, music, food, wrestling, comics, Comic Cons, whatever you're nerding out on. We want to talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. If you are currently checking us out on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, listen on any podcast app, and drop us a 5-star review. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, at Distance Nerding, wherever it is. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we got merch, people. Wait a minute.
Dude.
I got a thing for that?
Yeah.
Boom, right there. We got merch, people. And you can get some merch too. All you got to do is head over to www.streamlabs.com/distancenerding/merch and get yourself some of that sweet merch. So I am sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I know for all the live viewers, we're here a little bit late, but for all the audio viewers, nothing's changed because you're getting an episode when you normally would. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're here. We're ready to do this. Let's jump right into this. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuned into the worst kept secret on all of the internet because it's 90% my fault. You are now tuned into Distance Nerding. Let's get this done. All right, well, here we are, getting ready to do this whole thing right here, this whole shabam. Let's talk about it, guys. What do we got on deck this week?
On this episode, we trash talk trailers, get skinny with Skeletor, and solve a mystery with Jimmy Olsen, and so much more.
There we go. I love how perfectly timed that was.
I was mesmerized by the graphics and the audio. It was fantastic.
Well, before we get, it very, very much was. Before we get into all of the news and all the things we're going to discuss here, Jen, tell everybody who is bringing us this episode.
I was not on that page, nor was I prepared, but I am there now. Check out Colossal Girl Entertainment, fan-focused Comic-Cons across the West Coast, including Beaver State, Meadowlark, Anna Medford, Tri-Cities Powerhouse, Silver Age, and of course, my favorite, the one I will be attending, Gem State Comic-Con. Comics, cosplay, vendors, artists, celebrity guests, and more. Visit colossalgirlent.com and plan your next Comic-Con adventure.
Gem State Comic-Con, more like Gen State Comic-Con.
Yeah, exactly. There we go.
It is, yes.
So
I actually lobbied for that, but it's in Idaho and it's the Gem State.
Lobbied for the
it became a legal issue.
So let's get into this. Jen, lead us into the into the fray here, if you will. Let's start with a little bit of news on the Marvel side. Let's talk about Straight from J. Jonah.
Well, our first little tidbit is fresh face or fan favorite. Sadie Sink may be stepping into the MCU with a new report claiming she's locked into a major role ahead of Spider-Man Brand New Day. Rumors suggest Sink has signed a significant multi-project deal with Marvel Studios, potentially tying her to Spider-Man Brand New Day and the future of MCU storylines. While her exact character remains under wraps, the report positions her as a key player in Marvel's next wave of young heroes. So the report comes from Daniel Rickman. He's, the industry insider that always talks about this stuff. And he's saying that she's secured a movie deal, like a multi movies.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think that's pretty cool. So, of course, there's the speculation of, is she Jean Grey? Is she Rachel Alves? Is she like she could be anybody. She could be a new one. She could be actual Jane. She, we don't know.
Yeah.
Have red hair, will travel is basically any
Yeah.
character in that. She could be a de-aged Black Widow.
Yeah.
I'm
There's a
just
couple of
saying.
different characters that
So
she can be. I'm leaning more and more towards Jean Grey every day, and
Yeah.
especially
I
yeah.
because
was not. Yeah. There you go.
yeah, and mainly because not just because it makes a lot of sense considering the way that they're kind of like playing off the character and some of the leaks that we've seen. She seems like she is wearing a one of the like kind of newer Jean Grey costumes, but also because it makes sense for a multi-movie deal to do Jean Grey.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I like.
it
I
would be
wasn't
interesting
originally sold on.
too.
Oh, sorry. Go. Okay. I'll wait.
No, I was just gonna say that it would be interesting and new and a new way to introduce Jean Grey
Mhm.
to the Marvel Cinematic Universe because every other time Jean's already been at the school and so she's kind of the I've been here forever. Let's all, get along and sing kumbaya. So this actually I think might bring more depth if she is Jean Grey.
Yeah.
I just hope that there is a joke in there referring to her as Marvel Girl.
Oh, that would be so yeah.
I would love that.
Oh,
That would
that
be
would
the
be
first time that
great.
someone referred to her as Marvel Girl, and I love that.
Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
would be awesome, and that would be the first time, so yeah, I love that. I want that to
Mhm.
happen. It won't, but I want it to happen. Alright, so the strategic timing of this is that, Marvel's rebuilding its street level and youth-focused rosters because, like, we're getting all that Young Avengers stuff with Hawkeye and Miss Marvel and all that, and, Daredevil and Born Again season 2 just started. So it could signal that Sync's actually part of their long-term plan, and so that's why they're going ahead and having her sign on that dotted line. Uh, so yeah. I think it's cool though. Anyway,
Absolutely.
the
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
release
My man.
date for Spider-Man Brand New Day is July 31st of 2026, and that is when we will know for sure because she is in that movie, y'all.
Right. Let's go ahead and continue on to the next story here.
All right.
All right. So next is, of course, my favorite. Can you dig it? Marvel's upcoming Vision Quest series may be more intertwined with Agatha all along than fans expected. Showrunner Terry Matalis uh, hinted that Vision Quest will share connective tissue with Agatha all along, suggesting overlapping themes, magical consequences, and possibly shared characters. Hint, hint, hint. He also left the door open for a second season, depending on audience response and Marvel's broader narrative plans. So the report obviously comes from the co-showrunner or the showrunner, Terry Matalis, that teased that these two, like Vision Quest and Agatha all along, speak to each other narratively. So yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of cool. And last we left Agatha, she was with uh Billy,
Yeah.
and they were trying to find what's his name? Timmy?
Tommy.
Man, I'm so
Yeah.
Agatha.
Yeah.
I was so Agatha in that moment. As soon as I said it, I was like, "Oh, Agatha. Naughty, naughty." Okay. So, Tommy. So, maybe Tommy is part of Vision Quest. It seems natural. I could see that. What
I
do you
could
guys
see it.
think?
Yeah. No. I could see it. I mean, yeah. I'm interested in what's going to because you wouldn't think Vision Quest would be very magical, but I mean they've all kind of been that. So no, I'm curious. I think this will probably be the conclusion to the kind of like WandaVision saga.
Mhm.
Right.
The
And so
It,
we'll
Trinity,
see
it
where
if
that
you will.
goes.
it
Yeah.
actually does make a lot of sense considering that this was meant to be a trilogy. So I mean,
Mhm.
like we have it started with WandaVision. We get Anti-Vision is essentially who he becomes. So we get Anti-Vision, and Agatha all along,
mean
kind of moves
cataract?
the story along.
Cataract, yeah.
And it kind of moves the story along, but then now, we're getting into the conclusion, we're getting into Vision Quest, we're going to get into, again, it's supposed to be following that Vision Quest storyline where he creates his own family and all that, and we already know that we're going to be getting like human versions of a lot of the Android and AI characters that we've seen throughout Marvel.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see this. I know he's probably building his family from scratch as far as like what he knows from what he knows. But I think that there's going to be an
Or
element of
scraps.
right from scraps. But I think there's going to be an element of Tommy and Billy just kind of like invading that fantasy and trying to inject reality into the fantasy.
I do wonder if at
Like
the end
gum.
of Vision
Like
Quest,
gum in his insides.
oh, good. I do wonder if at the end of Vision Quest that Wanda's gonna just come back. I feel like that's probably the conclusion here.
That
is
makes sense. And again, I
Yeah.
feel like there have been a few elements that have been introduced and we know are coming into Marvel. I mean, we know the Darkhold is officially a thing within Marvel again. We know that Mephisto is officially within Marvel now. We know that anybody who believes that Wanda died at Wonder Gore does not know the comics because
right.
she comes back like she is the Red Witch. There's no
Yeah.
keeping her down. She goes into hibernation for a
So
little bit, but you can't really kill her. So
this kind of I guess leads into another thing. Is Vision Quest before or after Brand New Day? Out of curiosity.
as far as when it comes out, it's coming out after Brand New
It's
Day.
supposed to. Yes, I was gonna say it's like late 2026. There's no actual like confirmed date, but
I was gonna
they're
kind of
speculating
resurrect
late
the
2026.
the theory that it was gonna be we're gonna have with Wanda we're gonna have a Let There Be Mutants moment, but that seems
No, I don't
Right,
think it's.
yeah.
I don't think they're going to do a reverse House of M. I think the only thing that we're getting that is a lead in to Brand New Day, we talked about last week, is Punisher, because Punisher's coming out the week after Daredevil comes out. So like Daredevil or when Daredevil finishes, so it'll be the season finale of Daredevil. The next week will be Punisher. The next week will be Spider-Man. So I think they're lining that up for everybody to see all of that.
Gotcha.
That's awesome. That's great. It's fantabulous. It's okay. Never mind.
So let's continue here.
Yes, let's move on.
So yeah.
Rebecca.
So okay. So I think we kind of, beat this dead horse, but the series may explore the lingering effects of Wanda Maximoff's actions and the magical reshuffling happening across the MCU. So basically, if she hadn't done her spell, then White Vision or Cataract, because it is called Project Cataracts, by the way.
It is.
I didn't just bring,
She
pull that
didn't
out
make
of
that up.
the air.
That's actually in there. But again, technically that character is anti-vision. So
right, he's anti-vision. Anyway,
yeah,
he wouldn't have had his Ship of Theseus moment.
Right.
We wouldn't be in all of this mess. So these are magical ripples, if you will, just like Doctor Strange's spell is having ripples as well. So I feel like that's a big thing. Like, really grounding that if magic actions can have catastrophic consequences, and I think we're starting to see that. We see that part of reality's kind of unraveling right now with the multiverse and all that. So I do find this very similar, that this actually might have more to do with it than we think. But also Metalis said that the story is built to continue if Marvel greenlights it, so it could be a potential second season type thing. So yeah, and with Marvel television being a thing now, they are gonna want more content for it. So maybe we'll get a second season.
Hopefully.
But yeah. So
cool. All right.
So if Vision Quest ties into Agatha all along, Marvel might be quietly rebuilding its magical corner from the ground up. Almost foundationally. I put that in there myself. That was anyway. Let's move on.
All right.
Let's talk.
Anyway, moving
I
on.
kind of want to talk about Iron Fist. You guys ready to talk about Iron Fist?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah. Is the MCU just winging it?
No,
Jessica
nobody.
Henwick.
Nobody for that one.
Nope.
That was nobody. No.
It's a big old nope. Jessica Henwick may not be done with the MCU, despite being absent from Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Spoiler, I guess. I haven't seen any of it, so. In a recent interview, Henwick revealed she's still open to returning as Colleen Wing and hinted that conversations about her MCU future have happened behind the scenes. While she won't appear in Daredevil Born Again Season 2, she emphasized that her story isn't closed. So she's the one that said it. So I'm pretty sure we can believe it. Unless she's the werewolf. And I'm pretty sure Colleen Wing was never a werewolf. So and then that fans still consider Colleen Wing like one of the strongest characters from the Netflix era. And I have to tell you, I watched Iron Fist for her. Like I loved her in Iron Fist. Like she made it. She made it better.
Not only because Jessica Henwick generally is just hot, but also because she's a kick-ass martial artist. And because her storyline was, I mean, don't get me wrong, Danny Rand as a character was interesting, but not as compelling as Colleen Wing and her kind of movement into becoming one of the Daughters of the Dragon. That Daughters of the Dragon storyline is the only reason I wanted to season 3.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, and I think that right there kind of like puts her back as a prime candidate to actually bring her in. Whether it's in Daredevil season 3 or, whatever. But I don't think we're done with Miss Wing yet. And she did confirm like that she's not in season 2, which I feel that is a mistake, but I haven't, like I said, I haven't seen season 2. I don't know what's going on.
Well, again, they may not have just written her into the story at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. And that's okay. I mean, you don't want to overpopulate a season because then it can really water down the story because you have to do fan service for a lot of different characters. Whereas if you keep it tighter, it usually is a better story. But anywho, that's just my 2 cents. So the release date. So obviously, her release date isn't there yet, but Daredevil Born Again Season 2's now currently streaming on Disney Plus. So you can watch her not be in it.
Well, it's not fully out. I mean, they're doing week to week, and we're only on the second episode right now. So
I haven't seen the first one, so hush your mouth.
Okay.
Hush it. Okay, awkward moment. Let's move on.
Let's teleport to some DC news. It's time for
Watching the Watchtower.
Oh,
that's so cool. I just love that one. Anyway, all right. Aren't you the ditz from that dive bar? Warner Brothers just held new test screenings for Supergirl, and the studio is reportedly tweaking both a major cameo and the film's ending. Fresh test screening reactions suggest Supergirl has undergone notable adjustments, including an expanded cameo from a key DC character and a reworked ending meant to better set up the new DCU. These changes appear to be part of James Gunn and Peter Safran's ongoing calibration of tone, continuity, and character positioning as the DCU takes shape. So, like studios do test screenings. All the studios do it. The feedback just indicated that I guess these are people that saw previous test screenings, and so because they wouldn't have anything to compare it to if they hadn't. But they indicate that they beefed up a cameo and modified the ending to strengthen it to the rest of the DCU connections.
Cool.
I think that's you want to do that. If you're telling an integrated story, you want to do that. So,
Right.
Yeah.
see, that's
One thing I can tell you, and this is what's come out from the test screenings, is if you think that Lobo is a cameo, it's not. Lobo is supposed to be a massive plot moving character in this movie. So
Yeah.
it makes me so much more excited. And again, seeing more of him in the trailer that came out this morning, I'm really excited for him.
I'm hoping the
yeah,
cameo
and
is
we'll talk
a
about the trailer.
oh.
But yeah.
Yeah,
Go
I'm
ahead.
hoping the cameo is a Green Lantern or someone in that kind of realm of the universe, just because cosmic. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to see like maybe a Jon Stewart show up.
Yeah,
Again, given that the
or
show
somebody
is gonna be
complete,
out
or
by
like
then.
Kilowog or something. I don't know.
Kilowog would be dope if Kilowog showed up.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like there's a lot of characters that it could be.
Yeah.
And if everybody got excited to see that character in like and they were like, we need to put more of the character in there. Given the way that James Gunn writes his stories and the way that he's kind of just already got a lived in world, it's kind of hard to kind of predict what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Well, and it seems because it's adapting Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, there are certain things like I feel like Lobo's taking a lot of the Comet storyline
Mhm,
because
mhm.
Comet is kind of her companion through a lot of it. And so I feel like maybe Lobo's doing that. Now, granted, I like the whole kind of making them like bikers, like, a biker gang and stuff, and giving it a little tiny bit of that Mad Max flair. But yeah, I can't say that I love Lobo.
Yeah.
I have loved Lobo since the first time I ever saw him. That crazy Zarenian. I love him.
What if, and this is just kind of jumping back in, what if the major cameo that shows up is because it is taking place in space? What if it's Brainiac?
Ooh, that's good.
Ooh.
That's a good
Because
idea.
that leads into the next movie, because the next movie is supposed to
Yeah.
be the next Superman movie. So it's like, what
Yeah.
if the whole thing just leads into like it's a cameo of Brainiac at the end and her brushing with Brainiac and having to warn Clark that, this monster is coming.
Yeah.
Right. After she's learned this valuable lesson about your people are who you want them to be and not who they're supposed to be.
But
Anyway.
also on that, and this would be my last point, that maybe he is the reason that Krypton was destroyed, and she
Oh.
recognizes
Yeah.
him, and it's
Mhm.
that recognition of I know what you are, and you're not going to do this to my new home.
Yeah. That could be
Well,
good.
I mean, yeah, that'd be great. Anyway, so the ending adjustments, the revised finale is said to be more emotionally grounded and more aligned with Gunn's long-term DCU roadmap.
Yeah.
Because she's supposed to be kind of the opposite of what Clark is. Clark's so positive and, such a
Right.
good kid and, that kind of, and she's the emotional, depressed, needs Adderall, needs all the depressants. And that's who she is. And that's who she should be. She shouldn't just be the girl version of Superman. And so I
Right.
like that that's where they're going and they're making it more cosmic so
Right.
that
Yeah.
later they can ground her in Earth and it feel like a decision and not a prison.
Yeah.
So Supergirl is currently slated for June 26th, 2026, which I guess is Superman Day.
Oh, nice.
Cool. I
Yeah.
didn't know that there was a day for that, but all right.
There's a day for all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I'm just noticed before we move on to the next story. So somebody in the chat was asking what was the budget for the movie. Right now the report is 100 million was the budget for the movie, and that's not including marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Speaking of Supergirl, there was a trailer. So what y'all
Yeah,
think?
Oh,
really
it was
good.
good. I liked it. I again, I watched it this morning. I watched it on repeat along with the we're going to talk about this later, but along with the Masters of the Universe trailer, I was watching
Yes.
them both on repeat to just kind of like both take in what I was watching, but then also what can I catch? What are the things that I'm seeing? What are the things that are
Mhm.
more that make me more excited, especially He-Man, because there are theories that I have for He-Man, and I'm like hoping it goes in the direction of some of the things that I'm suggesting. Which again, it kind of seems
Mhm.
like it's going that way with this new trailer. And again, we'll talk about
Mhm.
that later.
All
Just
right.
admit you wrote the freaking script.
I wish I did. I wish it was something that I wish I at least did a treatment for it.
Yeah. All right. Whatever. 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 Anyway, so Shadu,
Yes. Yep.
what did you
I
think
thought it
of?
was great. I thought it was a good
Okay.
trailer. No, I think yeah, we got more Lobo. We got more of like, oh, I kind of have an idea of what the story is here and what everybody's deal is. Um, no, it's interesting. Like some good character motivations, and it seemed more fun than the last one because I know a lot of the complaints about last one were, hey, it seems really depressing. Oh, it's not colorful enough. Oh, it's whatever. It's like this. I think improved upon that. It's like no, it is going to be fun. It's just also going to be very emotional and very it's like kind of almost a Thunderbolts vibe where it's a very emotional kind of dark story, but it's still kind of funny and jovial and like it has that kind of yeah. So
Mhm.
no, I really liked it. It kind of again it gives you more of an idea of what the movie's actually going to be. So that was good.
Yeah. But it also like really showed Kara's isolation, I think. Like I
Yeah,
really felt like you could tell that she was like, no, I don't have anyone. So it really brings home that two survivors of an entire race. Like it like a
yeah,
whole world wiped out. So it really brings that home and having her in space really kind of makes it that she and Clark truly are aliens. They're
right.
not human. So I feel like that was very important. The tone was sharper and like I felt like it was more character driven. Like we learned more in this trailer about we're gonna get Kara flashbacks at a funeral, at like, finding crypto. Like, so we're gonna get to see parts of that. And it just seemed like you could tell in the trailer how she starts off not as confident, and as the trailer moves on, how they edited the trailer, that she gets more confident through the end, and then they give you that stinger at the end with the whole, like, her with the basically, you know, giant-sized baklava. Anyway, and yeah, so I felt like and it hit a home run, and then the Ditz thing, loved it.
Mhm.
Good. All right.
Funny, that's what I've been calling you.
Right? I loved that. That's why I put that in the beginning. I was like, "Oh,
And,
we gotta
and then
do that." I
I
watched it
love
like
that I love that he just looks at her and goes, touche.
Yeah.
"Oh, shit."
Again, Jason Moore is
Alright.
perfect for this.
Here's what I was saying. We need what was I saying? We need oh, shoot. Sorry about that. We need, ah!
It's all falling apart.
We need who's the I don't know. Anyway, I was saying we need less of somebody and more of Momoa in our lives.
Less Leto, more
That fell
Momo.
totally flat, so let's just move on to Jimmy. Jimmy makes
Let's do
everything
it. Yes,
happen.
let's move on to Jimmy. Woo.
Pick a lane, Jimmy. The Superman spinoff series starring Jimmy Olsen is getting a title change and a clearer genre identity. DC Studios is reportedly rebranding the Jimmy Olsen led spinoff, originally known as DC Crime with Jimmy Olsen, and repositioning it as a crime mystery comedy. the shift suggests the series will lean into Olsen's investigative roots while embracing a lighter, more character-driven tone within the DCU. So the report actually comes from the co-showrunner, Dan Peralt. He was
Once
like,
again,
yeah, I'm just going to
co-showrunner.
tell you guys all this. Yeah, let me just tell you the tea. And then this whole alignment shift, I mean, it does bring it closer to Jimmy Olsen, the Jimmy Olsen comics and stuff. So being a little bit more comedic uh, and quirky, I think that's kind of cool. And also, the actor is very good at comedy and has great comic timing.
Yeah, he
So I
does.
think that lends into his strengths. And then also rebrand positions the series as a tonal counterbalance to like Superman and even Lanterns. I hear Lanterns is also is pretty gritty. So
Yeah.
expanding the Metropolis corner of the DCU.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I think it should be called the Jimmy Olsen Hour, but that's me.
The Jimmy Olsen.
The Jimmy Olsen Hour.
And it should be only 40 minutes long.
Yeah. It should not be an hour.
No.
I think what's the actor's name? Skylar Gizondo?
Yeah, Gizano.
Gizondo?
Gizano?
It's something.
Skylar. Let's just call him Skylar.
Skylar. Skylar is great. I love the portrayal that he has of Jimmy Olsen. It's very lively.
So funny. It's so
very
good.
good because we haven't gotten a good Jimmy Olsen within DC movies, like in any of the DC movies. And again, this is going to be controversial. I'm sure this is what's gonna get clipped. But contrary to what you guys are all seeing on the internet, the Snyderverse isn't coming back, guys. It's not happening. Okay,
say no to Snyderverse, people.
It's not that I don't like the Snyderverse. It's like I liked it for what it was and everything that was on there. But you look at the plans that are happening within the DCU. The fact that they are revising the Supergirl movie and adding things in order to play a bigger narrative that doesn't say at all that Warner Brothers is planning on downsizing this in any way. You know what I mean? Like it seems like they're going full steam ahead with what they're doing with the DCU, and it doesn't seem at all like everybody's sitting there saying like, oh, they're trying to get Cavill and Affleck back for Superman and Batman. Like, no, they're not. Cavill has moved on to so many other projects. I don't see him stopping the projects that he wants to do just to go back to Superman as much as he loves Superman. There's so much happening with Henry Cavill right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
he has done his time as Superman.
Right.
Yeah, and of course Batman is Alan Ritchson, so that just can't happen.
I wish. Especially after what we reported on last week.
Go ahead and go through this. No.
Rebecca.
No, we're not going to. And like I said, I wish. And he also said that he's not going to be playing Batman. No, James Gunn has already said that he has him in mind for another character, and he's on board for it. So they haven't revealed the character.
It's Azrael. It's Azrael.
I wouldn't want him as Azrael, but anyways, not.
You know what? It doesn't matter what you want.
Moving on. We're going on.
Going back, Skylar has brought so much of what I wanted from Jimmy Olsen into Jimmy Olsen, and I'm all for the way that they're doing it. I love that they're playing a more lived-in, mature version of Jimmy Olsen. It's not the kid photographer Jimmy Olsen. It's very much
commit phobe.
Yeah, it's very much Jimmy Olsen as an adult and dealing with all of his own problems. It's Jimmy
Olsen. That's what we're.
Yeah, it's Jimmy Olsen when by the time he had his own comic book and when he was his own compelling character. So I'm all in for this version of Jimmy Olsen. It's so good.
Yep, me too.
All right.
So if DC nails the tone, Jimmy Olsen might become the breakout human face of the new DCU.
I'm all for it.
All right. Well, I would like a drink. And that drink, I feel like, needs to be Dubby.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Dubby. is a brand of energy drinks created to help focus, concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. Dubby contains no maltodextrin, no sugars, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes. Find out more about Dubby at www.dubby.gg. Use the code NERDING10 and get 10% off your order. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to move on to the next segment of the show. We're getting into the one shots, the quick bites, all the quick stories. So SHDU, get us through these quick stories before we jump into the big news, the big meaty news for the night.
All right. So
No, it's wait. For more news, trailers, reactions, check out the Distance Nerdington post. Let us know what you're nerding out on.
That's right.
All right. And now it's time for one shots. So, it's my hair, isn't it? The first trailer for Disney's live-action Moana drew immediate criticism online, with fans calling Dwayne Johnson's oversized, hyper-stylized Maui wig distracting and cartoonish, which is hilarious. Despite the backlash, Disney insiders say the look is final and will remain unchanged as the film heads towards release. Calling a wig from a live-action adaptation of a cartoon cartoonish is hilarious.
That's cartoonception.
It is hilarious.
It is.
All right. That wig was absolutely horrendous.
It looks horrendous. It's amazing. Do not change a fucking thing. It's amazing.
It is very distracting, even in the trailer. So I can't wait to watch the movie and be distracted by Dwayne Johnson's
so good. Hair. It is just it's beautiful. It is a beautiful thing.
All right, y'all are insane.
All right, we good? Moving on. Cool. All right, so That's So Wizard. The debut trailer for HBO Max's upcoming Harry Potter series shattered internal viewership records, becoming the most watched trailer launch in the platform's history. The response signals enormous demand for the franchise's reboot, as Warner Brothers positions the series as a decade-long flagship. So, quick thoughts on new Harry Potter stuff?
I just thought it was adorable. I thought the trailer was adorable and exactly what it should have been for the first episode of the first season. Because the very first chapter of the first book is pretty dim and hopeless.
It is
and
pretty
that's
dark,
why when he goes to Hogwarts, it becomes more like the color re-enters his life. So I feel like it's great, and I like the tone that they're putting forward.
I'm very happy with what they're doing with this. Again, there are some changes. People are upset with all the changes. I don't personally have an issue with those changes because the problems that people have with it are so superficial that it's just like shut up and let actors act. But at the same time, I'm honestly in the camp of I feel like it's too early, like it's too soon because Harry Potter is still in the lexicon. It's still something that's current. It's still something that people watch. And I almost feel like, whoa, camera. I almost feel like this wasn't something that we needed right now. I don't know why.
I thought you were doing it for dramatic effect. I'm like, man, he's coming into this. Look at him, and the camera just keeps going back and forth, and he's really.
It's because I'm so animated with my hands, and the camera's jumping back and forth. But I feel like again it may be too early for this, but I am excited for it. I'm willing to take a new take and kind of see. What they do, what they add in, what they remove, all that kind of stuff, especially now that you're doing it as a series, you can focus more on not cutting out the stories from the books the way that some of the movies did. So,
and all I'll say is fuck J.K. Rowling. All right, so we are moving on. All right, so
and
Aang, director William Mata continues to push Paramount for a big screen rollout of Avatar Aang, The Last Airbender, arguing the animated feature was designed for theatrical scale. He emphasized that this movie deserves to be seen on a big screen, even as the studio weighs streaming first strategies. So,
I can't believe that you picked that voice to be that person's.
I just picked a random voice because I didn't realize there was a quote there. So,
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
I do
Yeah,
voices
no,
usually, so
I think it should be a
that's
theatrical
good.
release as well. Yeah,
Great,
that's
Phil.
I agree with that. I feel like it's something that needs to be theatrical. I mean, if you're putting out a film of one of the most beloved, modern anime properties, and they're
Yeah.
making a film out of it, like put it in theaters. It's gonna make money. If
Yeah.
you guys think that it's
Put it
not
in
gonna make
theaters.
money, well, like if you guys think it's not gonna make money, then you guys obviously didn't see what Demon Slayer did. So, do it.
Right,
Put it in
exactly.
theaters.
right.
Put it in
Just do it.
theaters, you fucking cowards.
Yeah. All right. And then we have I Know Karate. Pete Davidson has signed on to star as infamous mob hitman Thomas Toby Karate Patera in a new crime drama, with Paul Walter Hauser co-starring as DEA agent Jim Hunt. The project marks a dramatic turn for Davidson as the film explores Patera's violent rise and the investigation that ultimately brought him down. Frey, you've expressed this. I cannot take this seriously. It's called Tommy Karate.
Exactly.
This is a real person, by the way.
Exactly.
I know it was a real person.
Oh,
This is
yes.
stupid. This is
But Pete Davidson playing someone that's known as Tommy Karate,
no, it's perfect.
and it's a dramatic
hilarious.
turn.
If you think this
I
is going to be a
mean-
dramatic movie in any way, starring Pete Davidson and Paul Walter Hauser, this is going to be
It's
the
gonna be a
most
comedy.
surreal. Like, this is going to be the most surreal, true life based comedy.
True crime comedy, yeah.
No, like the whole thing. This movie is going to be based on real events, but it's going to be like a surreal satiric take on it. There is
Yeah.
no
Yeah,
way
and
that
that's-
you are. I mean, Pete Davidson does good in dramas. There are really good dramas that Pete Davidson has done. Right, King of New York is a
Paul
good
Walter
example,
Hauser. Yeah.
right?
Like
And Paul Walter Hauser has been trying to do more dramatic takes, but you put both of them together,
it's
and you have Paul Walter
it's gonna
Hauser
end in
as
comedy.
a DEA agent. This is going to be a dark comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Jim Hunt is also a real person too. So
Yeah.
Well, this will be interesting. This will be really interesting.
Very.
All right.
Mhm,
And then finally, for headlines here, we have I Got Chills. They're multiplying. The first teaser for Cape Fear introduces a tense, atmospheric reimagining of the classic thriller, with Amy Adams and Patrick Wilson as a couple targeted by Javier Bardem's menacing antagonist. Early footage highlights a grounded, unnerving tone and a focus on psychological dread over bloody spectacle.
I'm
so
with it. I
I
like
Got
this.
Chills, They're Multiplying is actually from Greece. I
Oh.
got chills. They're multiplying.
They're multiplying. Okay, great, cool.
Yeah.
I got you.
Okay. Just letting you know about that.
Yeah.
That's
It was good. It's funny. All right.
I wonder if Javier Bardem is playing Robert De Niro's character.
he is. Like if you look at the trailer, like it's crazy. And he's like topless at one point, and oh my
All right.
Lisan Al Gaib.
I don't think people realize how ripped Javier Bardem is. Like Javier Bardem's one of those dudes that is a Javier Bardem's one of those dudes that is like he is a sleeper of a good looking dude.
Yeah.
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 Yes,
he
and
plays
has,
a
like,
lot of like scary, like ugly characters, but then you see him and like again, you look at him in Dune and you realize how like ruggedly handsome he is.
Yeah.
And how just like
And if-
lovely he is.
Mm-hmm.
And if you
Just
want
he's
to
lovely. He's lovely.
and I don't think we have a podcast just exclusively talking about Javier Bardem, but we do have a lot of others because Distance Nerding is part of the Geek Freaks Network.
That's right. Hold on. Sorry. Boom. Geek Freaks.
There. Woo. All right. So I lost it. There it is. Discovering your latest binge, debating casting choices, or still not over that plot twist? The Geek Freaks Network has got you covered. Your fandom, your community, your people. Geek out your way. Check out the Geek Freaks Network at gfpods.com. Once again, that is gfpods.com.
You will not regret
Somebody
it,
else
guys.
besides me put that in the chat.
You will not regret it, guys. If you are currently not listening to any of the other shows that are on Geek Freaks, you're missing out. I am a massive fan of the Geek Freaks podcast itself. I
Right.
love,
Yes, absolutely.
sadly, Challenge Accepted is no longer going on.
Oh.
But they shut it down just because they've been doing other shows and other things. They've got other things going on. But Fandom Portals is another big show of mine. I love Fandom Portals so much.
I love Fandom Portals. It's
Yeah.
so amazing.
Such a good show. And then Disney Mom's Gone Wrong is the comedy show of your dreams. You guys need to go check that out if you're not already. So
Look, when I had a procedure recently, somebody that was in the team that was helping with the procedure actually listens to Disney Mom's Gone Wrong.
did they? Do they?
So yes, I was telling her, like, I did podcasts. And I was like, yeah, we're part of the Geek Freaks Network and they do things. And I was like listing off stuff. And I said, Disney Mom's Gone Wrong. And she was like, oh my God, I love that show. I listen to it all the time. So yes, this is like a no one associated with this show loving on Disney Mom's Gone Wrong. So give it a
Yeah.
look see, y'all. Look and see it and
Yeah.
listen with your ear holes.
Look and see
Yeah,
it.
100% check out Disney Mom's Gone Wrong. If
Turn
you're looking
your
for something
turn your
that
ears
is,
towards it, and
if you're looking to listen to something that is unhinged mom humor, talking about
I mean,
Disney
Mhm.
properties.
I get
and
that
stuff.
daily, but you know,
Yeah, it's great. And then if you catch the episodes where some of the Disney dads come on, James has been on an episode. So
oh, nice.
yeah,
Nice.
James
Of
was one of the
course he
Disney
has.
dads gone wrong.
I mean, yeah, no, that
Closet
pretty
that
much
he was
that
locked in
feels about
last
right. Yeah.
time.
Yeah. James 100% is a Disney dad gone wrong all the time.
Oh yeah,
so.
no, it's yeah. No, so I was
James
like
is a
that. No, that makes
Disney
the most
dad
sense.
gone
Yeah.
wrong, right, left, center, front, back. He's a Disney dad.
Yeah, 100%.
And sometimes he goes in an angle. It's kind of weird, but you know.
Oh God! All right, let's move on to the news stories here.
All right, so this is just the news, just the download. So here we go. Will this show have legs?
I get
Dave
it.
Filoni says Star Wars Maul Shadowlord isn't just another expansion of the galaxy far, far away. It's a direct realization of George Lucas's original vision for the character. Filoni revealed that Star Wars Maul Shadowlord will draw heavily from Lucas's early concepts for Darth Maul, including story beats and thematic ideas Lucas never got to fully explore. Filoni emphasized the project aims to honor Lucas's intent while deepening Maul's emotional and narrative complexity within the franchise. So again, Filoni is noting that Lucas had a long-term arc in mind for Maul, and that was only partially realized in Clone Wars. So, what do we think here?
I'm excited for this. I
Yeah.
absolutely love this. And so if you're not familiar with what originally what the Maul story was supposed to be, he was supposed to be the long-term villain for the original trilogy. And then they decided, okay, we're going to kill him off. Right. They decided we're going to kill off Maul, and they made Darth Tyrannus the long-term villain over the next two movies, which again, he dies at the beginning of the third. Spoiler for 25-year-old movie. But like,
if you're watching Shadowlord, you've probably seen all of the Star Wars movies. So we're just gonna,
Yeah, originally Maul was supposed to be the new Vader. Right. And it didn't happen that way. They ended up bringing him back. Filoni ended up finding a way to bring him back that made a lot of sense. But also that performance is everything. And just, oh my God, you could not find a better actor to portray Darth Maul in any way. Because just, dude, Sam Witwer just there is no better person to play that character, because the big thing
we don't
with Sam
need
Witwer,
to talk about my obsession with Sam Witwer. Okay,
I have
We're
an obsession
not
with Sam
talking
Witwer too.
about that right now.
I feel like Sam Witwer is like the Will Wheaton of Star Wars.
He is not. How dare you say that?
Yeah, no,
I'm not saying it. I'm saying it bad. Like the modern Will Wheaton.
Yeah, no, Sam
He's like
Witwer.
that Patrick Stewart. You
Yeah.
take that back.
Sam Witwer understands Star Wars at a level that no other actor does. Because I mean, again, you listen to these interviews that he does talking about how he came up with Maul's voice and everything like that. Obviously, he is taking from Peter Serafinowicz voice and expanding on that. But Sam Witwer, like, you know, I love the idea of he was playing Star Killer and he's sitting there and he goes, you know, he's concentrating really hard and he's like, why do you do that every time? The casting director goes, why do you do that every time? And then you go into like a different version of the scene. He goes, well, he doesn't know how to meditate. Vader would have never taught him how to meditate. And I love that, right? Like Maul is upset with these things, and this is why he's motivated to go after Obi-Wan. This is why he remembers these things. He is so deep in the dark side that when he loses his mind and loses everything, the only thing he can remember is the code of the Sith. Right?
Yeah.
And that small little detail that he did as an accident from memory, because he memorized the fucking code of the Sith.
Because we love Sam Witwer, yes.
Which was not canon at the time, right? He remembered the code of the Sith and he just muttered it to himself in a scene, and that made the code of the Sith canon.
Yeah.
Because they loved how much he did that. Like, Sam Witwer is that guy when it comes to Star Wars nerds.
Yeah.
And he plays fucking Darth Maul. So, I mean, you know, yes, I'm excited for all of this.
And Palpatine in Clone Wars, yeah.
Yeah, he did. Oh my God. It's funny because his Palpatine, he didn't originally play Palpatine, but then they were like, he was doing that as a joke. I remember like he was going over a scene and he goes, Palpatine would do this, and then does the voice, and they're like, holy shit, why are you not playing Palpatine?
Yeah, he's Sam Witwer. He's just a Star Wars guy. We just love him.
He's just a nerd. And like,
he's a nerd because if you look at
that is the benefit of having, like, you know, there is obviously an argument sometimes for like, we need to have, you know, people who know how to actually, you know, write stories and like do all this, whatever. There are benefits to having like really big nerds in these things.
There are stories that he has, or there are movies that he's done that are non-Star Wars related, where it just shows how much of a nerd he is.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I think we should move on.
Yeah.
So the project is positioned as a bridge between Lucas era concepts and, of course, the current storytelling philosophy. Maul Shadow Lord premieres on April 6th, with 2 episodes premiering every Monday until May the 4th.
Yes!
So, if Filoni is truly channeling Lucas's blueprints, this could become the definitive Darth Maul story fans have waited decades to see, and Sam Witwer, I'm sure, has had in his head for that many decades as well.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Absolutely.
All right. So, you guys are mostly going to have to talk about this one, but I will still read the story. What do you do with a problem named Mark? The long-gestating live-action Invincible movie finally has movement, where the latest update brings both optimism and a touch of frustration. Robert Kirkman shared that development on the live-action Invincible film is still active, with new progress behind the scenes. However, he also admitted the process has been slow, leaving fans hopeful but impatient. The project remains a priority, but timelines and concrete details are still elusive. So what do we think here?
Jan, what are your thoughts?
Mostly going to be you guys talking, yeah.
I don't care. I'm over Mark Grayson because not all he does is destroy things. He's destructive. He doesn't think things through. He isn't learning his lessons. He's gonna hurt Adam, and I'm gonna kick his ass. And then he's probably gonna kill me. But I am over Mark Grayson.
So I'm not on the same page with Jen on this one. And I mean, it's not like we're always on the same page, but I love Mark Grayson. I think that Mark Grayson does learn lessons in everything that he does, because the whole thing is he goes through a lot of darkness.
Like get into a building. He has destroyed so much property. He shouldn't be called invincible. He should be called property damage.
Yeah, fuck property damage. I don't give a shit about property damage in this case because insurance will take care of that. I am.
Whose property though? That's really the.
That's
question.
why I say I don't care, right? It's
Yeah.
like, no, Mark Grayson as a character has gone through so much tragedy, has gone through so much, and the stuff that
A
he's
lot of
learning
it
from
self-inflicted.
it is, but the thing is that it's also him reflecting back on, there's a lot of regret and there's a lot of self-reflection in what he does because there's a lot of things where he realizes the implementations of what he's done or the consequences to what he's done, and it depresses the shit out of him. And like he, especially this season, they're really leaning into that. Anyways, I'm off topic on this because I'm not going to go into that. I don't think we need a live action version of Invincible. I think the animated version is fine and is amazing the way it is. And I don't think we need a live action version of this.
I'm going to say something that's totally contradictory of the rant that I just said. It would be really cool to see John Hamm as Omni-Man, though.
I'll give you that. John Hamm as Omni-Man would be great. I think that my only issue with it is I would have a lot of apprehension to see John Hamm's version in comparison to J.K. Simmons because J.K. Simmons' version is perfection.
It really is, but he can't. Well, I don't know. He really did buff up for that Santa movie, didn't he? He might be able to do it.
He got ripped for Santa.
He's a little bit, yeah, he's a little bit older than I think Omni-Man is supposed to look. And
right.
So I that's the only thing that I have a problem with. And you know what? I shouldn't be like that. I shouldn't be a visualist like that. But I'm sorry. I'm working on it. I'm going to a support group. It's really been helping. So
VA, Visualist Anonymous.
Yeah.
As opposed to the VA that I go to.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
Exactly.
Okay. So, like I said, I don't think we need a live action version of this. As cool as some of the scenes would be, I prefer the animated version of it because there's a lot more you can do in animation that you can't really do in a live action version that just doesn't seem like gratuitous. You know what I mean? Like you're basically just recreating the boys, and it's like we've already got all of that in the boys. I'm happy with Invincible the way it is. I feel like the storytelling that they're doing in that show, there's not another medium that you could use that would convey it correctly.
Yeah. And sometimes you don't need to change the medium to tell a compelling story.
Right.
Yeah.
There are animated, a lot of animated stories that are very compelling and don't need to be live action. So,
right.
Anyway.
And maybe you're better served by the animation.
Some people feel like it legitimizes it by making it live action, but I feel like it's legitimate as an animation to begin with. So
yeah, we need to get away from that.
It's literally between that and The Boys, they're both literally shows that bring people back to Amazon. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'll just finish up the little thing. So Kirkman emphasized that the team is committed to getting the tone right, especially after the animated series success. But this update reassures fans the film is not dead, just slow. And we don't really have a release date right now, but the new season is currently streaming on Amazon Prime. So the project is installed, just simmering, and fans may need to stay patient a little longer, or a lot longer. We'll see.
Yeah.
So, all right. Great. So I have to prepare. I should be wearing a tank top for this, but all right. Born to be kings, we're the princes of the universe. I think it's the wrong movie actually, but okay. So the latest Masters of the Universe trailer.
That's Highlander. Jesus Christ, Superstar. And
that's okay. Yeah, the Princes of the Universe is Highlander.
That is Highlander. That is yeah. All right. So the latest Masters of the Universe
he is
teaser.
A Prince of the Universe.
I'm trying to read the story here. The latest Masters of the Universe trailer delivers the biggest tease yet of He-Man's climactic battle for Eternia. It showcases He-Man preparing for an epic confrontation against Skeletor, with sweeping shots of Eternia, upgraded character designs, and a tone that leans heavily into mythic fantasy. The footage emphasizes large-scale action, emotional stakes, and a visual style meant to reintroduce the franchise to a modern audience. So, what did we think of this trailer?
I'm gonna let Jen shit on it first.
Look, okay. I didn't want to watch this trailer, right? Because Jared Leto gets my hopes up every single fucking movie. Everything he's in, I'm like, you know what? No, this time he's going to be okay in it. He's going to be okay. The movie's going to do well. The curse of Leto is not a thing. Every single time. Up to this point, I have been disappointed. Extremely disappointed. So I did watch it. I watched the trailer in spite of Jared Leto. I was spiting him with the watching. That maybe, just maybe, this one would be the one. I'm on the fence. I don't know. I don't think this is the one. Allison Brie looks fucking awesome. I cannot wait to see her in it. Everybody else seems cool. Why are they making He-Man Thor again? Not sure about that, but they really are trying that, especially in this trailer. But I mid 70s here. I can't. It's mild weather to me.
I would think mid 80s since that's, but okay, whatever.
Nice call. Nice catch. Nice catch there. Mid 80s. I see what you did there. I'm on the opposite side here, being that I'm a massive He-Man fan. I think this trailer looks fucking amazing. I think that for all the shit that everybody is giving that He-Man is too small, none of you have read the comics, obviously. None of you know anything about He-Man in general. As far as the build of him, you don't need Ronnie Coleman running around because that would be boring as shit. Ronnie Coleman can barely move his fucking arms. So no, we don't need guys that are so massively big that they can't move around and do anything. Nicholas Galazzini is perfect because he is ridiculously ripped. He's still a big dude, and he's wielding a fucking sword, fighting everybody. Jared Leto, because they finally did a couple of lines from the movie, right? And hearing Jared Leto's voice as Skeletor, right? Like it's not Oppenheimer, which that's fine, right? Because Oppenheimer had a very distinct voice when he did Skeletor in the 80s, right?
I thought you were talking about the movie.
No,
Oppenheimer.
I thought you were talking about Jay Roberts.
Jared Leto was in Oppenheimer, so I don't think so.
No. Skeletor's original actor is Alan Oppenheimer, right? And Alan Oppenheimer, again, like he's the that guy, right? Like
you boob,
like that's the original Alan Oppenheimer, right? Frank Langella did the original live action version of Skeletor, and he made it very Shakespearean, right? The character, again, it was a very good performance with very bad prosthetics in a very bad movie, in a very mid movie, right? Like, and when I say mid, I mean that in the word mid, not like it was really bad. Like it wasn't the greatest. There were some things that were enjoyable in it, but for the most part,
the soundtrack was good.
The soundtrack was really good. But again, one of the standout things of that movie was Frank Langella's performance as Skeletor. This lands in between Frank Langella and Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill had a very, very different take on Skeletor. And listening to Jared Leto's voice, it has more of that Mark Hamill tone, the kind of condescending, like dark, He-Man, get it out of my way, like one of those kind of things. But there's very much a Shakespearean tone to the way that he speaks, which gives him more gravity, which gives him more like a more deeper, darker, almost like ethereal tone, given that he's a sorcerer to begin with. So I feel like the take on Skeletor, that at least from the few lines that we got, seems like he landed that version of Skeletor. You know, and again, it seems like he's not wearing a mask. That is very much his face, and I'm happy because that means we're not going to get a fucking face reveal, and I don't want a fucking face reveal. Again, the only way that I want a face reveal is if they go into at some point explaining that he's Keldor, that he's He-Man's uncle, right? That he is the brother of King Randor, and he is a fucking problem, right? Like,
so it's Hamlet.
It kind of is. To an extent, it is somewhat Hamlet, but like a lot scarier and with more magic.
Yeah. Okay.
So again, I'm very excited for this. And him being Thor, that's always been that the lightning bolt coming down and him getting the powers has always been He-Man from the beginning. So
I know it has. I'm not saying that. The movie itself, it has a lot of Thor vibes. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, Ragnarok.
And like also,
it does kind of feel like Ragnarok, where it has like that medieval crossed with
stranded on Earth because his family was killed. Thor's stranded on Earth. I mean, like, it's got a lot of parallels. Come on, they're both blonde. They both have like a weapon that powers them up to an extent.
And probably Immigrant Song will be in this movie, so you know
it probably will be.
The
only difference is Thor is an actual god, whereas He-Man is not a god, but he's a champion. He's got godlike powers, but he's not a god.
He's a master of the universe.
He's a master of the universe. So not being as familiar with He-Man or this universe, it looked really good. I am apprehensive like Frey, but
that's my son. That's my child. He did
it.
He said it. He said he's apprehensive like his mother. It's my child. It's my child. I love you. I love you.
Love you too. But it looks good. It looks it is striking a different tone, and it seems to kind of have that epicness, but also silliness that I think it needs to be a little bit silly and not take itself too terribly seriously. So that's good. I liked the Skeletor voice. I wasn't really sure like what, and you described it really well with what Leto seems to be going for, where it's not at all the which is kind of what I was not really hoping for, but expecting. It is kind of it's a different take on it, but it's an interesting take on it. So I am morbidly curious. How about that?
Morbidly curious. Okay, you know what? I'll allow it.
I'm also very happy, very, 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 very happy that they're still keeping Orko so close to the chest. If we're getting Orko at all, but the fact that we did not get Orko in this trailer kind of makes me happy, because that means they're still saving stuff for the movie.
Yeah. Good. So again, just to round this out, the footage shows off expanded
Orko,
world building.
I'll watch it. If we get confirmation Orko's in it, I'll watch it.
You'll have a lot of disappointed people if Orko doesn't end up in this movie, because Orko is such a lovable character. And he's kind of the comic relief. But between him and Cringer, they're like the comic relief in that whole property. And we know we have Cringer because we literally saw him riding Cringer.
No, hold on.
He wasn't Battle Cat. He was riding him as Cringer.
No, hold on. There's a character named Cringer.
So Cringer is the Green Tiger.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because when he's Cringer, he's a coward.
He's a coward.
But when he's Battle Cat, he's a badass.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was just really embarrassing.
No, so Cringer as a character, he's like the Scooby-Doo of like the whole thing. Right? So like he's a talking tiger, he's a talking green tiger. but he's like constantly afraid of everything, and is just like he's a scaredy cat, right? But when He-Man transforms into He-Man, Cringer turns into Battle Cat and is his mount, and becomes like this massive saber-tooth, like green saber-tooth tiger, and is like the scariest fucking thing that you will ever see with a fucking saddle on.
Yeah.
Right.
That's cool.
And a lot of people have been saying like, okay, well, if Cringer becomes Battle Cat, then we need to see Panther, who is Skeletor's like Black Panther equivalent to Battle Cat.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
I just want to know when we're getting She-Ra. That's all I want to know.
I've been saying this for a while. I want to see
She-Ra.
She-Ra, but I feel like She-Ra shouldn't show up until, if they do this as a trilogy, She-Ra shouldn't show up until the third movie.
And of course,
to
played
lead
by
into
Anne.
Margot Robbie.
To lead into a whole She-Ra trilogy.
Ooh, no, Samara Weaving.
Ooh, Samara Weaving would be good.
Yeah.
Anyway, to round out the story.
Yeah.
Yep.
The footage shows off expanded world, including updated takes on Castle Grayskull, Eternia, and classic Masters of the Universe creatures. The trailer leans into high fantasy spectacle while keeping the earnest heroism that defines He-Man. And also, again, the odd mix that Masters of the Universe has between like high fantasy and sci-fi. Because it is a universe that has both.
Well, they're on a different planet, so that's the whole thing.
Well, they're on a different planet, but again, it has both.
Also,
tropes of both.
Thor.
Also Thor. Masters of the Universe powers its way into theaters on June 5th, 2026. If the final film matches this trailer's ambition, Eternia might be heading for its most cinematic battle yet. I have the power!
Love it. Like I said, I just want there to be in the background, even if they don't introduce him as a character in the first movie, but in the background, the machinations, like you kind of see it happening, of Hordak influencing the entire universe. Because if we get, you know, in the lore, Hordak is who gives Skeletor his power. So if we do that and we have Hordak running in the background, like you just see a shrouded figure giving Skeletor his power and things like that. By the third movie, when we have He-Man fighting Hordak, I said this before, I want him to defeat Hordak, but not like kill Hordak. And that leads into Hordak jumping in time into the future. And it leads into, now we have an established villain for She-Ra.
Yep. There we go.
Because Hordak is the main villain.
Universe.
Yeah, because Hordak is the main villain of She-Ra, but he is kind of like the overarching villain within that universe. He's like the one that like the prophecies say that that you're supposed to that they're supposed to defeat. And She-Ra is the one who eventually defeats him. Because she's the champion after He-Man.
Yeah.
So
all right. So Phil,
well, in the new lore, in the old lore, she's his twin sister.
Yeah, in the original cartoon when they brought that back in, but the new lore is so much better. Like especially when they expanded in the comics, it was so much better.
Says you.
Yeah, because it makes her her own independent character, and it makes her so much stronger of a character.
Says you. Anyway, let's move on.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to talk trending topics. It's time for the Trend Up.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Yeah.
I just always feel like we're in the TVA when this happens. Because we are the truth tellers.
Well, hi, y'all. Okay. Jen.
Oh, do you want me to do my Miss Minutes voice? I'll do my Miss Minutes voice.
Give me a hi, y'all.
It's good taste.
Hi, y'all.
There we go. All right. Well, let's get into this. We've got some topics to talk about here, or a topic to talk about here. It's pretty big.
Get the main topic, yeah.
Yeah. Andy Weir's Star Trek criticism sparks fandom blowback, industry pushback, and a full public walkback. All right, guys, if you're not familiar with Andy Weir, let's talk about Andy Weir. He's the author of Project Hail Mary. He's also the guy who created the Martian, which both amazing books. Criticized a new Star Trek series
And
after
both
his
amazing
own-
movies.
Right. He criticized the new Star Trek series after his own pitch was reportedly rejected, calling the show shit and labeling it woke in a derogatory way. The comments triggered immediate backlash from the Trek fandom, who pointed out that Star Trek has always been progressive, and drew a sharp public response from Crime 101 author Don Winslow. Within days, Weir walked back his statements and issued a direct apology to Alex Kurtzman, acknowledging he mischaracterized the franchise and let frustration guide his words. So, what started as Andy Weir calling the new Star Trek show woke and shit has now turned into a three-front firestorm. The fandom, fellow authors, and even Star Trek leadership, with Weir apologizing directly to Kurtzman. So, guys, let's talk the pros and the cons before we discuss all this stuff. The pros, the fans, right? Which surprises me because Star Trek fans can be pretty toxic, and we're going to get into that part too. Trek fans argue that calling Star Trek woke misunderstands the franchise's DNA. It's been socially progressive since 1966, and if you don't think it's that, you're not watching Star Trek correctly. Many see Weir's apology as a win for fandom accountability. You can't rewrite Trek's legacy to score culture war points. Winslow,
right? Hey, fandom nerds. Hey, you know, conservative commentators and things. Stop trying to fucking do that.
Yeah,
sorry.
No, guys. Trek is what it is, and you're not going to change it. Winslow stepping in validated the fan reaction. Creators defending creators reinforces Trek's collaborative ethos. The walkback shows that public pressure still matters when someone misinterprets a beloved franchise. Now, from the industry kind of take on everything. Weir's apology to Alex Kurtzman signals respect for the franchise's leadership and acknowledges the weight of his platform. The incident highlights how quickly negative commentary can escalate when tied to a rejected pitch. Optics do matter. Winslow's response shows that creators are increasingly willing to call out peers when discourse turns toxic. The Trek brand remains strong enough that even high-profile authors can't casually take swings without consequences. Now, the cons, and again, I'm going to want your guys' thoughts on all of this. The cons, especially SHDU, because you're a big Trek fan. So, and Jen, I know you're a Trek fan too, but this kid is a Trek nerd. So,
oh no, he has outstripped me on the Trekkie knowledge and the Trekker knowledge. So,
right. So, the cons on this from fans. Some fans feel Weir's apology was damage control and not genuine reflection. Others worry that this incident will fuel more culture war framing around Trek, overshadowing the shows themselves. The backlash cycle risks turning Trek discourse into a battleground instead of a celebration of its ideals. A few fans argue that Trek leadership shouldn't have to deal with public potshots from creators outside of the franchise. Now, the industry take and the cons on this is public creator on creator conflicts can distract from the work and create unnecessary PR headaches. Weir's initial comments may reinforce the perception that some creators weaponize woke as a catch-all insult. The walkback could be seen as reactive rather than reflective, raising questions about sincerity. And then, of course, industry insiders worry this kind of flare-up can sour relationships and complicate future collaborations. So this is a moment where fandom protected the core values of Star Trek, or is it another example of online outrage forcing a creator into a public retreat? So Jen, just because I want to hear the expanded version of SHDU
I was
on
going to
this.
say, yeah,
Let's start with
we
you,
know
Jen.
SHDU's going to have thoughts. So,
I want him.
So I think Andy Weir's apology is as genuine as the insult was. I feel like Andy Weir in this instant was trying to stay relevant. and he read the room incorrectly. And I feel that that's it. Being that he did submit something for a Star Trek show or movie, property, whatever, shows that he's a fan of Star Trek. And, boy got butt hurt and he kind of took it out on that. And so, yeah, we've all made mistakes like that. Oh, that's what that's what we were saying. Oh no, I totally believe that. Like, we've all had that moment of, oh yeah, people are saying this, and you're just like, yeah, I really don't want to rock the boat on this. I'm just gonna say something. And then you've read everything wrong. So I honestly feel like Andy Weir maybe read them wrong. Now, could it be
Yeah.
because I absolutely adore the movie The Martian and I'm really looking forward to seeing Project Hail Mary? I hear it's an amazing film.
Saw it yesterday.
Um,
It's
Really
great.
good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not saying that. Then, there are also these things called Harry Potter movies and now the TV show. And J.K. Rowling is not a good person.
No.
But I also love
This was
Harry
established earlier.
Potter. So it's a very complicated issue for
Mhm.
me. And I feel like Weir apologized. He did what he should have done. He could have escalated it, but he didn't. He took the higher road and he apologized. And
Yeah.
I think that whether it was genuine or not, the apology was accepted by Kurtzman. Everything is okay. But still, I love that Don Winslow was like, dude, sit down. Like, he was just like, you need to sit down, touch some grass while you're sitting there because you are above your skis, dude. And I say Don Winslow is the MVP of this story.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
So with all of this, just going into the apology that Weir put out there, he did specifically say in the apology that, I was trying to be comedic in what I was saying. Now, I didn't see what was comedic about it. I understand, like, kind of like you're going on a podcast and you're kind of like, trying to get into this whole anti woke thing and see like who, can I get more followers and things like that. But it's like coming from a dude who wrote 2 books about surviving in space and advancing humanity. It's like, dude, read the room in a way where your books could be considered woke.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Like, because you're talking about togetherness, man, and advancing humanity. Like, one of the themes is working like for Project Hail Mary, and this is nothing that you can't get out of the trailers. It's about working together with people who are different from you.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty fucking woke, man. And I mean, like,
I'm already pre-crying for this movie, by the way.
it's good. It's
Yeah.
so good. It's
It's
so
really good.
fucking good. Now with all that being said, I would love to see what Andy Weir would do with the Star Trek show, right? But at the
Mhm.
same
Yeah,
time, I'm so sick of this fake outrage for Starfleet Academy. Like there's what people are pissed off about is that they made a Klingon character gay.
Yeah. It's
That's
real
what you're
funny.
that's what you're mad about?
It's stupid, man.
That's what you're mad about? Okay. So, everybody sits there and talks about how
Go back
amazing.
to the cave troglodyte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about how much the Orville is the best Star Trek show that's not a Star Trek show, right? And they have
Yeah.
an entire race of characters that because they're so macho that they force women to be trans, and then on top of that, every character is gay of that race,
Yeah.
and it's like
Yeah.
you're not
Well,
mad at
because
that. None of
everybody's
you are mad at
trans.
that. Yeah, like you're not. None of you are mad at that. Why not? Like it's such a fake outrage because you guys want to be mad about something. You have all these toxic fans that sit there and you have the original series, and it's like, oh, nothing will ever top that. And then every iteration of Star Trek since then has had sections of the fandom that have just complained about absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
You guys are complaining.
Well, Klingons have 4 ridges and not 5.
Oh my
okay,
god!
Whatever, dude.
Was that Brave New World, or which series was that where
Yeah,
everybody complained about
No,
that shit?
I don't
Strange
even
New World.
remember, but it was
Strange New World.
Strange New World. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
I never even heard that one.
Oh,
That's
season
stupid.
one,
Oh my
season
God.
one, because they changed the looks of the Klingons. People were fucking livid about it.
You're
Yeah.
talking about Discovery. You're
Discovery.
talking about
That's what it is.
Yeah,
Discovery.
Yeah, okay,
that's
that
it.
that was the
that's
whole thing.
the brand.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, I'm talking about. I
Yeah.
will try to cover all of this rapid fire then. Are we good, Phil?
But I mean, like, again,
Yeah.
there's so much anger that people have for absolutely no fucking reason. And it's like, one, enjoy it for what it is. The creators are making things, and they're in the vein of what Roddenberry had initially envisioned for Trek. Number two, you guys are complaining about a universe that takes place in a utopian communist society in space.
Yeah.
Shut
That
the
will
fuck
never
up.
ever happen because we can't get through our petty bullshit.
Yeah. Just shut up. All of you.
Go sit down. Just go sit down.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Trek, if you don't understand these kind of like universal themes within Star Trek, you don't understand Star Trek. You guys are the same people who cheer on the Empire in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the Empire is kind of cool, though.
I was going to say that.
they
The
do have some
Empire is
good
cool.
points.
The Empire is cool, but fundamentally, the Empire in Star Wars are space fascists.
Hey,
The
wait a
Empire is
minute.
cool in the
What
same way
about their
that
cookies?
Sauron is cool.
What about their biscuits?
Their
Y'all.
biscuits were delicious.
Those biscuits are delicious,
The
but they're
yellow
also
travel
limbus,
biscuits.
so
Yeah. So that's all I'm going to leave it at again. I feel like there's a lot of misplaced outrage for people to sit there and just try to go online and get reactions so that they can get a whole bunch of hits. And it's like you guys are complaining and you have no idea what this property is about, because the real fans that are out there are looking at you like you're fucking idiots. And it really is what it is. So I need my anchor being here. SHDU. Give us your thoughts.
Anchor being, all right. Yeah, I'll take that. You covered a lot of ground.
Sorry. Also, I forgot to mention this last thing before I go into you. They just came out today that there was a petition that went out that got 25,000 signatures, and Paramount is now reconsidering canceling the show.
That's awesome.
Ooh, that's good. That's great.
Because they're seeing how
really
many
awesome.
fans actually enjoy the show. Now there's a lot of like fan bait that's going like they're making a season 3. Like, I don't know about that, but I did read that they are reconsidering because of the amount of signatures that it wasn't 2,500, it was 25,000. That's a lot of fucking people.
Yeah,
that is a lot of people.
No, that's good. I hope it works out.
All right, SHDU, unleash
here we
the
go.
beast.
So, Phil, you covered some of the ground I was going to cover, but I will do what I can. So yeah, this is stupid. I guess is my main point, really. First of all,
stupid.
First of all, Andy Weir, I really want to like you. I really think you seem like you've written really good hard sci-fi that is pushing forward the genre. You're an inspiration to me as a writer. What the fuck are you doing? Like, look, okay, so it just first of all, we need to stop calling things woke. It was originally a somewhat positive term. Excuse me. It was originally a somewhat positive term, and then it got corrupted by right-wing grifters and shit. And yeah, it seems like he's fishing for attention, which is weird that he would be fishing for attention right now when his movie, or not his movie, but a movie based on one of his books is doing numbers right now. Like, you're in the limelight. And you're clearly a Star Trek fan. I don't know how this happened. You got angry because they rejected your pitch, which, you know, I'm not going to comment on that. I don't know what his pitch was.
They
Maybe it was really good.
Hurt.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it was really good. Maybe it was really bad. I don't know. You know, maybe they had a valid reason. Maybe they didn't. But whatever. You got angry and you lashed out. And, you know, I would think you'd have more tact than that.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're just waiting. You're just relitigating the shit. Yeah. Star Trek has always been progressive. Literally, Gene Roddenberry set out to, this is going to be a very, very progressive show. It was a humanist show. It was an atheistic show. It was a, you know, show that was like, hey, I want to make sure that we see all of these different people represented in the future. Right. You know, because a lot of sci-fi at that time was very white and was very, you know, male. And so a lot of his things were, you know, we're like, hey, we need to, you know, put African Americans in there. We need to put, you know, we put Asian people in there. We do whatever. We need to put women in there. We need to show, you know, all of these things. And I don't think they really lived up to that until Next Generation. But, you know, the original idea for Star Trek was progressive. This needs to be a progressive show and show people where humanity can go if we just get over our bullshit. And the franchise has largely carried that on.
Bullshit.
I mean, it was groundbreaking.
Maybe one day we will.
What they did.
I think we will get over this bullshit, and then there will be more bullshit.
Yeah.
But it's, yeah, and then, you know, every show since then has in some way, shape, or form carried that on. Now, people did not like the new Trek series. They didn't like Discovery. Mm-hmm. Now, I admit, I did not care for Discovery. But I didn't care for the new Klingon design or whatever, but that's a really stupid thing to be mad about. Like, and these people, I don't understand how Star Trek, the show, the franchise, the you know, cinematic universe, whatever it is, Star Trek has attracted all of these like reactionaries. I don't understand it. I've never understood it. And it just, I don't get it. And so, and yeah, it's like these people are mad, oh, there's a black woman as the captain. It's like, yeah, have you seen Star Trek? Like, yeah. Of course. And it's just, there's gay characters. Yeah, that's been long fucking overdue. It's Star Trek. Mm-hmm. Star Trek has always been what, ironically, has always been what people accuse, you know, things of, oh, this is woke. They're just putting in, you know, like, you know, they're just throwing black people into, they're throwing whatever. It's like, yeah, that's what Star Trek is. So it's always been. It's always been, yeah, we're going to check off some boxes.
And this character the first to do it.
This character,
yes, also exactly.
As pissed off as everybody is, this character wasn't the first gay character in Star Trek.
No,
they confirmed that Hikaru Sulu was gay.
Yeah, because of course he was. He was gay as the morning sun.
Like, look, just... what about the little symbiote people?
And yeah, and Dax was, you know, Dax was a lesbian. Or was pan or whatever, but still, it's like
in one iteration lesbian, in the other married to a Klingon. Guys love,
which is why I say pansexual, because that's all of them. But yeah. It's stupid. And then it's all these other things like we're going back to this. It's just, it's stupid. It's stupid to call something like Star Trek woke when, yes, it is. Of course it is. That's the point.
That's not an insult when it comes to Star Trek. Like,
no, that is the point.
You can sit there and say, this new Star Trek show is woke. Yeah, Star Trek is woke.
It's like calling the X-Men woke, which they did.
And your point being?
Yeah, I don't see the insult here.
Exactly. And it's, again, Andy Weir, you do the same thing as Star Trek.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you're not as like explicitly progressive, but I've read The Martian. I've seen, you know, obviously the movie, and I did not read Project Hail Mary before I saw the movie, but I've seen the movie. And I won't spoil anything. It's a really good movie. You should go see it. But you are progressive in your own way. You're not afraid to put women in positions of power. You're not afraid to have minorities in positions of power.
You're not afraid to have women sing a very emotional Harry Styles song in karaoke.
Right.
Yes, exactly. And you are talking about the future of human space exploration. It's the reason it's hard sci-fi. And the reason hard sci-fi is so good is that it is realistic. This is what we could do if we put aside our bullshit. Right. You're doing the same fucking thing. So just, shitting on Star Trek literally is stupid. You're telling on yourself. Like, and again, I really, and maybe I'm putting too much faith in this person that I don't know, but I really think that Andy Weir did not mean any of this. I think that he put in a Star Trek pitch, which, again, I would love to see a Andy Weir Star Trek series. Right. I would love if it was like an alternate universe thing and it was like, we're going to do hard sci-fi Star Trek. That would be amazing. But, the pitch got rejected for whatever reason, and he just got mad. And so he was like, hey, I wonder if I can find people that support me if I call it woke or whatever. And, that's all that happened. And then they got this massive amount of pushback. Yeah, it is unfortunate because it is just bringing this bullshit into the mainstream, and I hate it because it's been used, and I'm not going to make too much of a political point, but it has been used to criticize anything that is even vaguely progressive, even just basic shit, gay rights, trans rights, civil rights, just human rights in general. It's like it is a thing to meant to, or the charm has become something to just shut down the conversation,
right?
And it's being deployed far too much now, and it was never meant to be a bad thing. It was always meant to be, this is a good thing. You're aware of social issues,
right?
And it's anyway. I'm ranting at this point, but this is
We're
stupid,
aware.
and it's stupid. We have to talk about this. So, I hope that Andy Weir is not going to become some reactionary or something because of this. I don't think he is.
No, and I feel like he's walking everything back so that he can, participate in Star Trek or maybe write an episode, if not get his own show. Yeah. It's just like, oh,
and that would be great. I would love an episode of Strange New Worlds or Academy, or I guess Strange New Worlds.
I'd love it if he showed up in holodeck form or whatever.
It would be fun if he showed up. It would be fun if they mentioned him as a inspiration of something. There's a whole here we go. I'm gonna get really nerdy. There's an episode of Voyager where I think it's Voyager, where somebody on Voyager is related to maybe it's Picard. Maybe Picard's related. Anyway, someone who went on the first mission to Mars in universe. It would be really cool if they did something related to that and talked about how, hey, this was inspired by a novel by Andy Weir or whatever.
Mm-hmm. That would be something cool. Like that.
Something like that.
Whatever, something like that. That would be cool.
Whatever it is, but
that'd be neat.
I just think someone got butt hurt, and
let SHDU wind down a little bit.
Yeah,
he got really worked up.
My conclusion, I usually do because I'm dramatic and I like to do this. So anyway, so I think somebody got butt hurt and they lashed out and hopefully regretted it now. And I don't know how this happened. I don't know why this ever happened to Star Trek of all shows, of all franchises, of just
Star Trek's just sitting there, just being a utopian society.
Yeah, and people don't like that. And people don't, yeah. So it's basically after all of this, we should not have to talk about this, and this was very, very stupid. But I'm gonna step off this soapbox here. And,
I'm getting off the edge here. I'm gonna get off the edge. Well,
Such
ladies
the
and gentlemen,
edgelord.
There you go, Phil.
ladies and gentlemen, with all of the edging that has happened now,
Not the glazing.
Oh, and also, Sewong, you're talking about J.K. Rowling. Yeah. So the problem is not that, oh no, we should detach Rowling from Harry Potter. We shouldn't be making any more Harry Potter shows. That's the point that I'm making. Not that, well, we need to detach Rowling from our own thing. No, we shouldn't be making any more Harry Potter stuff. Anyway, that's a different.
I think it's too early at this point.
I agree
retell,
that
to
too,
retell
but
that story.
it's also, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
No,
ladies
let's
and
start
gentlemen,
with that.
let's talk about this because that is the end of this segment. So now we're gonna jump into our schedule. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo!
If you will dig distance
Can I do
nerding,
the
if you like,
schedule?
please.
All right, guys. So our schedule. This is every week. We do this every week. So on
Yes.
Tuesdays, it's all the nerdy news on the Distance Nerding podcast. That's right. We're doing it now live. You're watching it this very second. Thursdays, we do something called Building Lego and Talking Nerdy. We interview people, we build Lego. Sometimes we do brackets, sometimes we don't. If I'm on it, we don't do brackets. Fridays, game night. You know what we do on game night? Jep Nerdy. We do that. We do Jep Nerdy. We do D&D, the long
Yes,
con.
DM'd by yours truly.
Exactly. Exactamundo. And that's our schedule. You want to know why? You want to know how? Then you got to get in touch with us. But I'm going to get it back to Phil so he can get us back on track.
No worries. Just so everybody knows, this Thursday, a friend of the show, Nathan Price, from Pork Chop Express, is going to be back on the show promoting his latest book. So it's going to be fun. It's always
He's the
fun.
one who did the Bigfoot. Yeah.
No, Night of the Chihuahuas.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I was
And
going to make a
also-
Bigfoot in this karate joke, but that was
no, Night of the Chihuahuas and a couple other books that he's had on the show. All really good. But yes, his
Awesome.
latest book is going to be on the. We're going to be talking about that on the show this Thursday.
Very
So
cool.
it's always fun to have Nathan Price on the show. We love him to death, and it's going to be a great time. Now, with all that being said, guys, before I get into this part right here, SHDU, you wanna give us some pluggables?
Sure. So I am at SHDU Studios, pretty much everywhere. And for my music, it is at SHDU Music. I talk about lore and world building mostly, nerdiness, B&D, all that good stuff.
All right, Jen, what's some social medias that people can follow you at?
At Frey Comics.
Boom. There we go. All right. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we would love if you guys connect with us everywhere. If we exist,
Look, we like it a lot. I don't know if we're ready to commit to a love relationship at this point.
Right.
Maybe send us an email and we'll start from there.
We might consider
We
it.
we would absolutely love if you guys would connect with us on all the social media places. If it exists, we are there at Distance Nerding. Of course, if you would like to shoot us an email, you can email us at distancenerding@aol.com. And of course, you can join the taco party. Ladies and gentlemen, head to distancenerding.com and hit that big blue button at the top of the screen and join the taco party. It is the best way to help us out in everything that we're doing. Now, guys, I finally got some prizes. I have prizes.
Ooh.
We're going to be doing a separate stream at some point in some date here in the near future, and I'm going to be giving away some Lego. So we've got a whole bunch of Lego. We surpassed 600 a while back. We're actually at about 644 right now. But once we hit 700, I'll be giving away even more Lego, guys. And we've got Funko Pops coming down the line and all that kind of stuff, guys. It's time. It's time to start giving back to all the nerds because you guys give to us so much.
Yes.
We love you all. At least we love the ones that actually support the show by listening to us and telling their friends about us.
Keep nerding together.
There we go. She got us there. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from us. We will see everybody on Thursday.
Yes.
We'll catch you guys later.
All right. Thanks.
Peace out, peeps.
Distance Nerding.